It's been a crazy couple of days, folks. The weather is going nuts with more and more strange phenomena showing up every day. We also have some huge updates coming out about the Epstein case. However, we're going to start things off with the new Pope, whose selection has created a lot of buzz online.
I was wrong. I thought they would go Italian. I thought we were set up to go Italian. I thought it was going to be Parolin or Zuppi. I was wrong. Parolin was the front runner. He was the Vatican Secretary of State. I thought they would go Zuppi because he's a little bit more likable, but they didn't. The downside, though, of going Italian is they're often too entrenched in Vatican politics, which means more status quo. So in a historic upset, because we've never had an American Pope, we have Robert Prevost, who becomes the first American Pope.
Pope Leo XIV, MAGA is freaking out, calling him by every name in the book, calling him a woke DEI lib, New World Order, you name it, they are calling him it.
I do think one of the dark horses, and I think, unfortunately, he's one of the most progressive, is Cardinal Prevost. I don't think he's getting enough play. He is certainly on the short list.
People were also quick to find out that Pope Rob loves baseball, like a lot of people do in Chicago.
In 2005 in Game 1, with Jenks on the mound and Everett at the plate.
I read that he's a Cubs fan.
That's not true.
That's not true. He's not a Cubs fan.
That's not
What
true.
is he?
He's a Sox fan.
What?
They also said on the air that he was from South Holland. That's not true.
Okay.
It's Dalton.
He's from Dalton.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Now, many of our politicians were overjoyed that there's finally an American Pope.
I was so excited when I heard the news today about a new Pope, Pope Leo XIV. What an amazing record our new Pope has. Chicago native, member of the Augustinian Order, who has had much of his church career serving people in Peru.
Well, as an American Catholic, I am incredibly excited about a Catholic Pope. I imagine he's probably a Cubs fan, which doesn't sit that well with me.
Any reaction to the Pope, Mr. Speaker?
Yeah, hang on one second.
Any reaction to the Pope?
Congratulations to Pope Leo XIV, is that right? So, look, we pray God's blessings on the papacy in these historic days. It's a really important time for the world.
However, I want you guys to really notice how Donald Trump has responded to this news.
Are you planning to meet the Pope in the near future?
Mr. President.
Have you had it before? They've already called. When is that? Do you have a timing in mind?
They have already spoken to us, and we'll see what happens. But again, to have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor.
Sir, has you asked his name? Sir, had you?
I'm watching, and they said he's from America. I said, that's great.
As you can see, the president even looked surprised when he talked about the new pope. And this sentiment isn't just limited to our president. A lot of people, including the pope's own brother, did not think he had a chance of getting selected.
Did you expect this?
To tell you the truth, no, because I kept hearing there will never be an American Pope.
And you mentioned Roberto, I knew right away. And it's like, if I had not been in bed standing up, I might have collapsed because it's like totally unexpected, you know.
You see, the Vatican has only picked popes from outside Europe twice. And Pope Francis wasn't even picked during his selection when he was a clear contender to Pope Benedict in 2005. So I'm sure you can see why some people are starting to say that Pope Leo was only chosen to lead the Catholic Church since he has been critical of Donald Trump and his policies on immigration. Now let's get one thing straight. There was a time when even Pope Leo had said that opening your borders to the whole world creates problems.
Both the first reading and the gospel make very clear a message which Pope Francis has been hammering home time and again since his very first trip as Pope, when he went to this little community, an island in southern Italy, the town of Lampedusa, where all these immigrants continue to come. It's a huge problem, and it's a problem worldwide, not only in this country. There's got to be a way both to solve the problem, but also to treat people with respect. Every one of us, whether we were born in the United States of America or on the North Pole, We all are given that gift of being created in the image and likeness of God. And the day we forget that is the day we forget who we are. We forget who Christ has called us to be.
However, as you can see, he was more of a centrist, even though he is a registered Republican. He's going to end up being just like Pope Francis on a lot of things, and you don't have to take my word for it, just listen to his own brother.
He will be looking out for the poor. He will be looking out for those that don't have a voice. So I think he will follow in Pope Francis. Honestly, to tell you, I think he will be a second Pope Francis. I think he's got great concern for the plight of the poor, for the downtrodden, for the people who don't have a voice.
So, looking at all of this, I'm starting to agree with the people who say the Pope seems to be chosen simply because of his political opposition to Donald Trump. I mean, why else would the Catholic Church elect Pope Leo only 6 weeks after receiving a complaint against him from the group called Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, otherwise known as SNAP? The man is accused of allowing a known child-abusing priest to live less than a block away from a Catholic elementary school. That is not the kind of negligence people will forget in today's world, and yet the Cardinals chose him despite all this controversy. If that doesn't tell you how the heavily politicized Catholic Church works, I don't know what else will. Now, since we're talking about evil creeps who hurt our kids, I think it makes sense for me to show you what's been happening with those Epstein files. In a huge development, the Attorney General has confirmed that there are actual videos of Epstein with his victims.
Yeah, the FBI, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call him later and find out.
Folks, if you think those videos don't include any of Epstein's ultra-rich friends, you're out of your damn minds. This admission from Pam Bondi basically confirms what everyone has been saying for years, and it also makes it extremely important that those evil people are named ASAP. It will help no one if we find out after 10 years that certain billionaires could be seen in those videos. They'll either be dead by then or too old to be prosecuted. Now, the fact that Pam Bondi has made this statement might have something to do with this hidden recording.
No, you know what it is? Tens and thousands of videos. Yeah. And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
Yes, that is our Attorney General, who was secretly filmed by James O'Keefe, and according to him, this video was taken more than 9 days before Pam Bondi shared those details with us. If this is true, it's beyond reckless and cruel, because you're happy to share the details of this extremely important case with random people while you're telling Americans pretty much nothing. Now, the director of the FBI also confirmed a very important detail of this case in a recent hearing.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself, or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant.
That statement, of course, goes against so many claims that suggest Jeffrey Epstein was taken out by someone else. I mean, you can understand why people are suddenly starting to say that Kash Patel and the FBI might be hiding something, and if that's really the case, we are never going to see the truth. Now, while we're on the subject of truth, I want to know what's the truth behind all of these claims of blue rain falling from the sky, especially in California and Texas.
So I live here in the Central Valley, and it was raining a couple minutes ago. Can anyone explain the blue water?
As you can see, the rainwater does not look natural at all. However, now there are other clips from many other people showing this unnatural blue water.
Got a motherfucking blue lake right here. How much would it take for you to drink that water?
Hey, we're camping in this beautiful state park in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And it's not this tarp, because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. Are they chemtrailing us in Texas?
Some people have reportedly even tried drinking this blue water, which might be the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Yeah, the blue rain has now reached Louisiana. Now, somebody there decided to try it as well. And what happened to this person was wild. He said after he took it, about 30 minutes in, he started to feel like he entered another dimension, essentially. Okay. Yeah, he was on the job when this happened, and he was doing a tree estimate.
However, as you can see, so far there is not enough solid proof about this phenomenon. I also wonder why none of these people got this water tested to see exactly what was in it. So for now, I'm not personally sold on this blue rain, but if any of you have witnessed it, please share your experience with us below. Also, this wasn't the only unexplainable thing we saw in the last few days. There was that creepy ring over Kansas that reminded people of the Hollywood movie Arrival.
So, can somebody tell me what the is this? And I'm not using no app. I am on County Road 2 in between State Avenue and K32. And I have never seen anything like that in my life. And it appears that little black stuff is falling down the center of it. That is just weird. And then just to let you all know, I'm not kidding here. This is real. Sorry, that's my phone doing that because it's a piece of crap Motorola. But just so you can see, it's me. And I'm live. And it's starting to dissipate.
Now, a lot of news outlets are saying this was likely caused by some kind of explosion or fireworks show, but this was seen in the middle of the day and in a rather peaceful area. So as always, we're seeing the media trying to gaslight us and say it was something completely different than what it actually was. I want to know what your thoughts are on this new pope. Do you think he represents a more moderate approach, or is he just another woke pope? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you tune in for the next one.